This is Joe from crystalsubstrates.com, and we're talking about GGG single crystals that we have available and in stock. So GGG stands for Gadolinium Gallium Garnet. So this is a synthetic garnet crystal and is used for growing other garnets typically. It can be used for several things, but that's typically what it's used for. So we have in stock 100, 110 and 111, and typically this is bought in 5x5 at 0.5, but we can go all the way up to a 3-inch diameter, a single crystal. So just let us know what you need. GGG by itself does not have too many uses until you use it as a substrate, but what it's particularly useful for is growing some really interesting materials, and you can grow these by sputtering and PLD, quite often used in PLD. So here's GGG up here. This is typically how you'll see it written, because if you write it as the generic garnet formula, there's a X3Y2 XO43. This is how it would be written, with the X and the Y sites being taken up by the divalent and trivalent cations. So if we're looking at it in this formula, then we can start looking at other materials that are grown from it. So if you wanted to make yttrium iron garnet or yttrium aluminium garnets, which are used for magnetic and lasing studies, then you would start by using one of these GGG crystals. YIG and YAG they're much trickier to make in single crystal form, and therefore much more expensive. So what you do is you start with something slightly cheaper that has similar structure and lattice match these materials, and you grow your thin film of your YIG or your YAG or anything else you want to grow on it, and then you can do your studies from there. So if we look at some of the common studies which are used with GGG as your substrate, there's been a lot of studies on YIG materials and YAG materials. So for YIG, the yttrium iron garnet, the yttrium is often replaced with either bismuth or ceria or other cations, and to study its magnetic properties. And for YAG, the yttrium is often substituted with neodymium or erbium or gadolinium, and that's for studying lasing properties of these materials. What you'll notice is that these become quite complex oxides to grow in the solid form, so it lends itself really nicely to pulse laser deposition, where you can replace the cations very easily in your target, and then they'll transfer over into your thin film material, with maybe the exception of bismuth, which can be transferred over at a lower rate. So often the targets that we use will require some excess bismuth in them. If you need any targets making, I would recommend using the guys over at PLD Targets. They are the guys who know everything you need to know about getting complex materials made, and they also turn them around in good time, and so highly recommended. But if you need substrates, get them from us. Do we get them straight out to you, get you going as quickly as possible, next day delivery, as always, on all of our in-stock items, and we'll get you growing faster. So with that, I stop my yapping, so you can start your yagging. Have a great day, guys.